Welcome to the panel Global Antisemitism, which is one of the first panels of the conference. And I'm Anja Schmidt-Kleinert. I will be chairing this panel, and I'm very honored to do so. And we have 4 presentations. Maybe just some logistics before we start. So each of you presenters will have like about 15 minutes, and I will show you when you have 5 minutes, 1 minute left, and then you're welcome to be seated again. And after we will have heard all the 4 presentations, I will ask you to join me on the stage, and then we will have some more time for conversation, discussion, questions, whatever you're up to. Okay, so let's just start. And our first presenter is Daniel Farcas. So, okay, no, I don't see my notes. Daniel is a researcher at Ilan University, and he will speak today about facing antisemitism like a Chilean parliament. Daniel, welcome. The floor is yours.
Okay, good morning to everybody. I am very happy to be here, and thanks for you to coming. I know that it's not easy to come to Israel in those days, but I am very glad and very happy to welcome you here, and I wanted to start with this. We are in the frontier of the Jewish-Christian civilization, and I think it's very important that you will be here, so thank you very much. I will divide my presentation in 2. The first part of this, I think it's very, very common for you to hear, and I quoted like the permanent no. The permanent no, how Palestinian rejection to Jewish statehood fuels contemporary anti-Semitism, but it's been a little bit more than that, unfortunately, because when we started to review the story of the Zionism in the last 100 years, we are going to find out that unfortunately, the rejection of Jewish state was permanently. Einat Wilf, who is a very famous scholar that I admire a lot, used to take from the story, particularly in the 20s, with the mayor of Jerusalem, who was a Muslim one, and the Zionist leader, and they meet. And the mayor, the Arab Muslim mayor, telling him, you know, Arabs, we are the bread, and Jews, you are the salt. So many Jews, it's fine, it's good, you can contribute to the society, to the cultural life, to the business, but when the salt is too many, the bread is no good. So if you are going to be so much or so many, we do prefer that you will not be here at all. And the Zionist answer, listen, we want to be the bread. We don't want to be the salt. And unfortunately, when the Peel Commission in the 1930s came to Palestine and meet with the Zionist people, with the Jewish community and the Palestinian community, it wasn't a Palestinian community, an Arab community, his report to the king was the following. there are two people, very different ones. And they are willing something very specific. One people want to have a state, no matter what. And the other people only want to make sure that it's not going to be a US state. So I am remarking that because the story of the Jewish state and the story of the Jewish people regarding the no, you are not welcome here, it's becoming more and more normal. Last week, I don't know if you are familiar, but last week in Barcelona, a group of people who were in a place that is for praying was persecuted and beaten in the street. So we are very, very familiar with the no. And the joke that I heard, but it's not so funny, that Jewish people were here and were in Europe, and we have been told, go to Palestine. When we arrived to Palestine, come back to Europe. So this is our story. I wanted to do this introduction because my experience, like a parliament member in Chile, it was a little bit premonitory, and I think it was a situation that we live in advance that is going to happen in all the world. Why? Because in Chile there is the biggest Palestinian community in the world, outside, obviously, here. And they are Christians. They left the Ottoman Empire mostly in the 1914 and 1915, and they wanted to send their kids to the war. So they decide from Beyala, from all many places, to go to Chile. And they hate us, but they don't understand very well what is the situation regarding the Christians in the Middle East. They don't understand it at all. And my experience was very hard because I tried to defend the point that Israel is a normal state and has the right to defend itself and has the right to exist without any kind of doubts. And I suffer a persecution that it was more beyond the normal fighting in politics. I was in the ethic commission because I used to defend the Israel position that we're here in this country. We have the right and the obligation to defend the civil people from the terrorism. And I received a sanction, a very funny sanction that was 2% of my salary. Once because I tweet that there is no place to be happy like some parliament members that I quote about a terror attempt in Tel Aviv, in Hedera, or in Jerusalem. And the second one was because the Chilean government decided, like many governments in the world, to call the ambassador to Chile, and I quote that this was a coward decision, and because there are 15,000 Chilean people here in this country, it was a lack of responsibility. More than that, I tried to put the things in order because when the Chilean parliament, like other parliaments in the world, but this was long time before that happens, and it's already common, unfortunately and sadly. A simple agreement, custom agreement between Israel and Chile was in the discussion for a year. When the discussion about a custom agreement between Chile and Iran or Venezuela only took 2 days. There is no sense about this. And I wanted to come to the main point of my story, because I used to sit in front of Gabriel Boric, who later became the Chilean president. And when I asked him to sign a petition for the government to not allow a Nazi festival in the south of the country, he refused. When they discussed to grant the nationality by obviously all the respect that this has to many people, and among them was a rabbi, an Argentinian one, with Eduardo Vaingortin, who served like a rabbi in the Palace of La Moneda, which is the palace of the parliament. He refused to put all them together and asked to vote separately, and he was the only one who voted against this law. Why is it so important? Because in those years, when we arrived to the parliament, like many others parliaments in the world, we, like a Jewish community, we distribute some gift with apple and honey. Because as you know, in Rosh Hashanah, who is the Jewish New Year, we are giving that to the people. What was the reaction of this person was, instead of giving me that, I am asking to the Jewish community to be in the front line, asking, and more than asking, saying that it's impossible to be in the same floor with people who are with the occupation. In those days, this invent of genocide wasn't in the table. But what I wanted to tell you with this story is the situation that we are living today with the extreme left and with the extreme right. It's unfortunately something that already have been a reality in many countries in the world, especially in Chile. But, and there is the thing that is very important for me to share with you, the fight. The fight is not only, as Aviv Gur or Inat Wilf or other scholars have been arguing in the last years with 100% reason. There is not only a fight of the Israel like a country to exist or defend itself from the terrorism. It's not only the only country that the Christian people will feel safe in the Middle East. It's not only that Israel is the only democracy in this side of the world. It's more than that, because that the Chilean experience or the Chilean history regarding this behavior show that Jewish people is only again one part of the picture. Maybe the first one in many countries and in many societies, but only the piece of the whole picture. And many of our friends, I want to thanks to them for coming and for being so interested in the anti-Semitism. But I want to share with you that this is only a small piece of the picture, because the fight that we are having here in the Middle East regarding the freedom society, the capitalism way of living, and in fact, like a social and economical society that is growing and giving to the people a better life, it's not unfortunately the same goal that our enemies has. Not Hamas, not Hezbollah, not Iran, and no, unfortunately, the regimes that are ruling by Islam today. Okay, I have to finish. Where I will be very happy to continue this conversation, but in fact, my last sentence will be: thank you for being here, and we need you, and we need to convince the world that it's very important to make the things right now, not waiting for tomorrow. Thank you very much.